Castletroy today make their first appearance in a Munster Schools Senior Cup final. Having already secured the Junior Cup title, an historic double is potentially on the cards. A winning tradition could give CBC the edge though, and us a thrilling showdown here today. So today's Munster Schools Cup final match is between Castletroy and CBC Cork. That's coming up in just a few minutes' time here on Setanta Ireland. Straight after that, there'll be highlights of yesterday's Leinster SCT final between St Mary's and Belvedere. An absolute cracker that went to the wire that it was. And then finishing up a triple header of schools finals with the Ulster final between Regent House and Methodist College directly after the Leinster final. Subscription details are of course available on the bottom of your screen. Hello and welcome to Dura Doyle for the Munster Schools Senior Cup Final of 2008. I'm joined today by recently retired Munster legend John Kelly. We'll be hearing from John in just a few moments' time. First though, let's remind ourselves of the route taken by both today's sides to the final.
Taken very well by Colm Dillon. Dillon up to the 22, he could make it here. Looks outside and finds the fullback, and the fullback is in. Back to Kidney. They have men over if they can move it quickly. Up to the line and they're in, and it's a great try. Kidney draws the defenders, and out it comes to the left winger, Johnny McCarthy. Back inside it goes Kidney. Stopped at the line but manages to wriggle out of the tackle. What a superb try, and they take it quickly. They don't want to get isolated, and here's a chance for Darren Maroney, and Darren Maroney makes it. And they have the chance here if they can make it. Out it comes, and it is the try, and back go Prez into the lead. And here they go again. Can this be the equalising score? And it's magnificently taken and beautifully taken by Castletroy. What a superb solo effort.
All the change in this rap game. Red, yellow, black and green blood flows through my veins. The rap game, as you know, is back
deep inside the 22, back outside Parfrey. Good hands in midfield. O'Callaghan, chance for a try, and it's going to be a score. Looking for him, finding his jumpers at the back, and now it's quick ball, purposeful ball, and they work the short side really well with a reverse pass. Must be a try for Mulrooney. It is a try for the fullback, and that is straight off the training ground. Glenstall perhaps not done yet, needing support. How do we know? Referee didn't spot it. They do get the penalty now. Beautiful technique, no doubt from the moment it left the boot. Back from Holt, so Flynn again. Bradley, that's gone forward surely. Referee indicates yes, it's a knock on. He has a look at his watch and he says that's the final piece of action. The dream is over for Glenstall, and through to the final go Christians.
So an eventful road to the final as you've just seen. John, let's perhaps put this in perspective. How big an occasion is this for these young men?
It's a huge occasion for them. These are young players, and it's the biggest game that have played in their lives so far. They've 3 games to win this tournament, and every game it gets harder and harder. You can feel it here today. There's a huge atmosphere. It's a big occasion for them. Psychologically,
how do they approach this? You have the small matter of a Heineken Cup winning medal in your back pocket. How did you do it?
Well, when you approach a final, you just have to treat it like every other game, even though there's so much attached to it and so much glitter and razzmatazz with it. But you just have to keep focused on the game, treat it like a normal game, and make sure you don't freeze up on the day.
Castletroy's first finals of freezing up may or may not be there. CBC have more of a winning tradition. Will that stand to them, do you think?
History is history. I don't know, does it mean a whole lot? I read Pat Langtry, the CBC coach, he was saying that history meant nothing to them, but I suppose last year's team at CBC, they have a lot of players remaining from last year, so I'm sure they'll take that experience into today.
Okay, well, time now to quickly catch up with Conor Morrissey, speaking with the players' representative from each school.
Yes, thank you, Paul. Well, joining me now from Castletroy is Jack O'Sullivan, and from CBC in Cork is Damien Attridge. Let's have a word with Jack O'Sullivan first. Jack, I suppose underdogs against Christians today, but are the players confident?
Yeah, there's good buzz around the school and everybody's kind of pulling in together and everything, so I think there's a good, out on the training pitch and everything, there's a good old confidence about the team.
What's the best way to approach this game from a tactics point of view from Castletroy?
I suppose just take it as it comes. We've been just play our own game. Just don't change it on the day. Just keep playing as we're playing through the season, and hopefully get on okay.
Good luck today and enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, and on my left hand side from CBC in Cork is Damien Attridge. Damien, lots of pedigree of course in your college, 27 titles already. Castletroy have yet to win at senior level. Do you think that's going to stand in your favour?
It can and won't. Like John, Castletroy deserve to be here. They beat Prez, they're a very good team. But hopefully if we play well and Chris does his running game, we'll be okay. Like.
And what style of rugby are you going to play, given that we already know that Castletroy like to move the ball wide?
I say we'll try and match them, but also we'll use up front, and Jack Branson, with his immense kicking ability, will use that well.
Damien, thanks very much. Enjoy the day.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Conor. Well, with kick-off fast approaching here in Doyle, the atmosphere is stepping up. It's hotting up more than a couple of notches. So coming up after this break, it's Castletroy versus CBC. Up on senior cup. Is that okay? Yeah, I'd say John Kelly is with us, still with Welcome back. Well, that's what it's all about. The Munster Schools Senior Cup Trophy. Castletroy taking on CBC. Both sides want it. It'll be interesting to see who exactly gets it. And as you can see there as well, the fans from both sides pouring into the stadium. Castletroy fans lapping up their first ever SCT experience. Now, John Kelly, of course, is still with me. John, no shortage of talent on display here today. Perhaps could we hone in on someone you've seen, interest you or through the tournament?
The number 12 for Castletroy, Diarmuid McCarthy. He's a quality player. Scored 2 tries in the semi-final against PVC. You can see here he gets the ball and he just goes for it. He's got a lovely outside break and very raw player with lots of gas. He just turns on the afterburners there and gets to the line. That try as well was scored at a crucial time. I think it was with about 2 minutes left in time, and he showed he has the big match temperament, and he's a guy who can win you games.
How important will he be to Castletroy's hopes today, do you think?
I think he can be important in many ways, in that CBC will be quite aware now of how important a player he is, and maybe he'll open up. CBC will have to defend him, and they might open up space for other players like Colm Dillon, who's also a good finisher.
How do men like him, I mean, these people are at such a tender age, how do they handle the pressure of something like this? It's huge.
Oh, it is big, but as I said, some guys have a big game temperament, and a guy like him will probably lap this up, and he'll help him. It'll help him in his game, and it'll certainly give him a boost.
It's been said during the week that Castletroy perhaps have more flair. They have match winners, but CBC, they're a little bit steadier. Would you agree with that?
They're very solid. They're defensively very strong. They stopped Glenstal with 20 minutes to go. They just held out, and they showed great defence. They've got some big players too as well. They've got O'Callaghan, the number 8. He's a good player and scored a great try in their semi-final. So they have quality too. Pat Parfrey is a quality footballer at 10 for Christians, so they have a good side as well, but it's an interesting contest between the two sides.
I know you sat in the video room in John Kelly HQ looking back over a lot of these videos over the past while. Has the standard of this year's competition impressed you?
It has. Certainly the semi-final between Castletroy and Prez was a great game from just a footballing point of view, so loose, but and the other one, the Christians game against Glenstal, it was great to see a side like Glenstal get to the semi-final, but Christians showed great heart and merit and great defensive qualities at the end as well.
Okay, well, it's time now for a little bit of squad news. Conor Morris is standing by with both coaches.
Martin, a first senior final, and the juniors, of course, have already made history by winning that junior competition. It must be absolute bedlam in Castletroy these days.
Crazy few days, all right. We've been very, very lucky with our juniors, and hopefully that's taken a little bit of pressure off our seniors, and that we have one cup now. If we could get a second, it'd be great. But really, we're just delighted to be here. And like you say, it's new ground for us.
You've already beaten Christians, albeit early in the season, in a match when both teams were under strength. But where can we expect the key battles?
I suppose from what we've seen, Christians seem to be very, very strong up front. We might have the edge maybe in the back, so I suppose you'll see two varying styles of play really. Maybe Christians trying to keep it up front and us trying to move it about a bit. So I suppose that whoever comes out on top.
Pat, whether you've won this title 27 times like CBC or never like Castletroy, every final is special. What's the build-up been like in Christians?
Oh, we've looked at it as just another game, although there's always been a little bit of a hint about it being a bit more than that, but certainly one game at a time. And training in the last 2 weeks has been pretty relaxed, but also pretty focused, and we've just tried to get a few things better than what we've had them in the previous games.
Anything in particular? Have you looked at the way Castletroy play, and are you going to act accordingly?
Well, they're certainly a juggernaut, aren't they? I mean, they're a very good side. They're a skilled set of players, and big where they need to be, powerful ball runners, and a very talented and fleet-footed set of backs. So we need to be on our game to compete today.
But good luck and enjoy.
The thoughts of both managers there with Conor Morris. John, I'm going to push you. Is it a day for the favourites or the underdogs?
It's hard to say who are the favourites and who are the underdogs here today. I suppose Christians have the tradition, but Castletroy, I mean, they have an edge in that this is their first ever final, and it's a huge day for the schools. So I couldn't really call it at the moment, but I suppose if I was pushed, I'd say maybe CBC.
And if you were the Castletroy coaching staff, how would you suggest they approach this game?
I think they just have to keep going the way they've been going and play that expansive game. They've got to rely on the likes of McCarthy and Dillon, and they've got, I think, Frawley in the pack as well. They've got to use those guys to lead them in the game and play as they've played in the previous rounds.
So the atmosphere really hotting up. How will conditions affect the game? Do you think it's pretty much perfect, isn't it?
It's pretty much perfect. There's a slight breeze there, but they're good conditions for running rugby, and both sides have the ability to play that kind of game.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Sean. We'll let you slip off to your commentary position. So it's time now for a break. CBC versus Castletroy after that, and commentary will come to you with the man. I've been talking to John Kelly and Conor Morris.
The Limerick Schools under 14.
Happy in, yep. He's not. He's still talking to a cameraman. He needs to be kind of quick. Well, quickish. And we need to make sure he has a copy of the teams actually as well. Does he? It doesn't look like he. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has teams. Just in case. For John, I probably have a spare one, but I'm not 100% sure. I do. I have one. It's grand. Check.
Thanks.
It's Foley and more just have you as well. Is it Nicky? Yeah. Hey, it depends who you're talking to. They're probably about 40 seconds each. Castletroy first, yeah. Excellent. Do you want to hear John in your ear? No.
Maybe I should just a bit because
2.5 minutes including captions. Sure. I like that shot of the trophy and so on. I have a few bits I can say on that. CBC, the first name on that trophy way back in 1909, and we haven't seen a new name on it since '68, and we may see one today, etc., etc. I have, yeah. And if I don't, I'll make it up. It'll be a glittering one. John is in situ, yeah. Yeah, if you just give us a quick level on that mic, John, as well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Well, that's the scene here at Garryowen then. A very colourful occasion, and both sets of supporters have been inside the ground for quite some time now, soaking up the big game atmosphere, and that's what it's all about, as Paul mentioned. The first name on that famous trophy way back in 1909 was CBC in Cork, and we haven't seen a new name on that trophy since 1968. But we may have one by the end of play today. Let's have a look at how both teams are going to line up today. We'll start with Castletroy, and having caused one of the biggest upsets in the competition's long history by beating Pres Cork in the semis, it's no great surprise to see the same 15 start Castletroy's first ever Munster Senior Schools final. 8 of the starting team featured at this level last year, and that experience is nicely spread between 4 forwards and 4 backs. Proud day, of course, for the second row. Paul Dooley, who captains the team from Limerick. Alongside him is the hugely impressive Munster under-19 player Dara Frowley, who will hope to get good service from his provincial colleague Porrick Hogan at the set piece. Ireland School Centre Diarmuid McCarthy, well, he stole all the headlines, didn't he, with his brilliant 2-try performance against Pres. But there's pace and talent right through that Castletroy backline, and CBC will need to cover all the angles of attack. Christians, well, they're also unchanged from their semi-final win over Glenstall. Behind a very strong and mobile front row today is the formidable pairing of Mulcahy and O'Dwyer, with their Munster under-19 teammate Brian O'Callaghan captaining the side from number 8. The Foley and Parfrey axes at half-backs worked extremely well in the second half of their semi-final match, with Billy O'Regan always very dangerous when given good quick ball. CBC's back three of O'Leary, Loftus and Mulrooney, well, it's the envy of most schools. Mulrooney's kicking from hand the last day, perhaps not up to his high standards, but he scored a really clever try in the second half that won the match, and he's a class act who could prove the difference between these two sides here today. Well, John Kelly's made his way from the pitch up to the commentary box beside me, and John, really looking forward to what could be a clash of styles, but a very entertaining game nonetheless.
Yeah, it could be a real quality game. I think both sides are capable of playing very good football. Christians have been steady on their way to the final, but they've showed great defensive qualities, and Mulrooney has scored some great tries, and Castletroy have lots of flair in their back three.
Well, it's absolutely incredible to think that as we watch CBC break away from their team picture, that it's 5 years since they last won this, so that's a little bit of a dearth in silverware by their high standards. But these guys taking to the pitch now, it's only their 4th ever match in the Munster Senior Schools. Castletroy, of course, only 8 years young, really is an incredible achievement, and of course, as we mentioned already, Junior Cup champions in 2008 and going for an unprecedented double. Lots of pressure on young shoulders, and the first 20 minutes of the first half today could be absolutely crucial. It could be about how Castletroy settle, but they do have 12 players actually back from last year, so there's a lot of experience in there. The likes of Dara Froley, Donald Byrne, Owen Sweeney, Kieran Clancy and Colin Dillon will be key today for Castletroy. And there's the man in charge today, George Clancy, the match referee. Tense faces, anxious moments. It's all down to the players now, the coaching staff and parents, and lots of people involved, of course, with these two colleges. They can do very little now, and it's time to hand over to the real stars, who wear numbers 1 to 22 for both teams. It's a day and it's an occasion for leaders to stand up and be counted. Billy O'Regan, the inside centre for CBC, wearing number 12 today, key player, Munster under-19 representative. 8 representative players on the Christians teams. And there's Pat Langtree, hoping to guide his team to success today. They're a well-coached outfit, that's for sure, CBC Cork, and that was evident in the semi-final. The way they held Glenstall at bay, a valiant challenge from Glenstall. Very little room, as you can see, on either side of the ground here. First time we've had a Munster Senior Schools final here, and it's going to be Castletroy to get us underway. Referee checks the watch. And so the 2008 Munster Senior Schools Cup final is underway at Gary Owens, CBC against Castletroy. Early exchange is key to both sides to get the confidence up and settle any nerves, of which there will be, that's for sure. And the man just in first piece of action there, Pat Parfrey, is going to be key for CBC Cork today.
Yeah, Pat Parfrey comes from a real Christians rugby family, and he's a great footballer. But a good solid start for Christians there, taking the ball in and just getting a clean touch. But Castletroy putting on a lot of pressure on the kicker.
Good early attacking position for Porrick Hogan to try and find his jumper, which he does.
Your choice.
Referee deciding it's not straight though.
In 15.
It was taken in by the number 5, Dara Frawley.
Wait for the call now, front rows, wait for it.
He's the key jumper for Castletroy.
Touch. Pause.
Huge game against PBC in the semi-final.
Hold the push. It's gone through 45, we'll have it again.
It's gone line 45, and lots of the talk in the build-up to this match about the Christians pack against the back line from Castletroy, but you can be very sure indeed that Castletroy will match, if they can, Christians up front and put in a huge effort from 1 to 8.
Sit on back row 9, stay on.
where we come with Brian O'Callaghan, one of the try scorers from the semi-final, helped out by James Mulcahy in there. Turnover ball though, and this is where Castletroy are so dangerous. Kevin Doyle sets it up, quick ball for Peter Murray through the hands of the half-back, and out it goes to Jimmy McCarthy, two-time try scorer in that semi-final.
Number 4, you've just gone off.
Off their feet though at the breakdown, and that's chance gone for Castletroy, but an indication of what they're all about, John.
Yeah, they certainly showed their willingness to move the ball there, but Pat Parfrey got straight up on Dermot McCarthy. He's obviously going to be a target for Christians today, having showed so much in the semi-final. But a good start by both sides, really. They're settling in well to the game.
In the end, it's the number 4. There he is, the Castletroy captain, Paul Dooley, penalised for not staying on his feet.
Captain, Castletroy
And
captain.
Mulrooney's kick finds touch just on the 22.
The captain, guys. It's the same for you. Stay on your feet in the tackle area. Oh, just wait.
Set piece is going to be very interesting. 2 very big, formidable second rows, and that's gone the way of Castletroy and Kevin Doyle. Now Murray. Little box kick over the top. Looks to have judged it very, very well indeed. Smashing kick. Really well done from the scrum half.
Yeah, great kick there by Peter Murray. I think he was an out half in the junior team last year, but he's just a great footballer, a great reader of the game. But a lovely little kick into the corner there.
2 pack leaders. He's jumping early at the line out. Just wait until the ball comes in before he'll go up. Just keep an eye scar. We'll give you time to organise. Let's go, CBC.
So the early pressure on Christians.
Keep this gap. We'll give you time to organise.
Castletroy camped inside the 22.
Wait now. Hold him there, please. Hold him.
In it goes, and it's well stolen once again by Kevin Doyle, and it's shoved on by Owen Sweeney, and suddenly Castletroy are very close.
No, hands out red.
Referee runs around to the far side to be positioned to see if he can spot Castletroy trying to force their way, pick and drive over. There it is at the base of the ruck.
No!
Inches short, surely. Referee says no. And we go again. Round the fringes, lots of big players. Dara Frowley, the big number 5 at the back, spots a gap and goes for it. Tackling is exceptional from CBC, and it had to be pushed back, forced away from the line. Now they get it through the hands, and all of a sudden the gap's open, and if they can ship it wide, there was an overlap. Cormac Joyce Parr, the fullback, did well to get in the line. Now Murray might have a go on his own. He does. Very close indeed. Referee George Clancy looks and says no, we'll have a scrum 5. Peter Murray spotted the gap, and he must have been only inches short of the line.
Yeah, it's just see Peter Murray there just having a look and reaching and just inches short there. But great start by Castletroy. Their defensive line-up putting Christians under huge pressure. I think they've turned over 2 to 3 lineouts at this stage, and they really have started the better of the 2 sides.
This is very, very close indeed, John. Let's see if the referee gets it right.
I think a TMO would find that one hard to call. No matter how many times you looked at it, that could be the smallest bit of chalk in that ball, but too close to call, really.
Really good try and awareness from Peter Murray. A couple of players down on the deck, 2 Christian players in fact under the post there, but a really good start from the team from Limerick.
Yeah, and they're using Jim McCarthy there more as a ball player rather than a strike runner. He left a little pass off to the right winger Maroney, and then he in turn had a great offload. But they certainly are looking very sharp and very driven in this final.
And that's the thing, when you have a player of Jim McCarthy's obvious ability, he's a Munster under-18 and Ireland schools player, but they're also really good strike runners off him as well, in the shape of Colin Dillon and, as John mentioned, Darren Maroney and Cormac Joyce Parr as well. Any suggestion that Castletroy perhaps might be a little bit nervous, a little bit anxious coming into this match? Well, we haven't seen any indication of it in the opening 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes, certainly Castletroy have started the better of the 2 sides, and they're looking very sharp, you know, and they're using their qualities, which are their backs, and their second rows have had a great start. I think Frawley has had put huge pressure on the line-out. He's getting up in the air and making it very difficult for the Christians hooker.
Let's have a look at the set piece. This is where Castletroy are doing the damage, turning over ball. Really good take from Dara Frawley. And it was from that they set up the series of attacks which so nearly resulted in our first try from Peter Murray, just centimetres, millimetres even short of the Christians line. In the eyes of referee George Clancy, in any case, very close he was.
I think Christians as well in that passage of play just showed how strong they are defensively. I mean, they were under huge pressure and Castletroy managed to get offloads in, but still the Christians' bodies got on the line and stopped the ball from coming over.
Brian O'Leary and John Crowley in there to back up the defensive effort. Murray's in really quick here, appealing for the penalty, and then he spots it, has a look, sees the gap, and in the end he's well tackled and stopped just short. Changes the foot for CBC. Brian Hayes, hugely talented line-out technician who injured his ankle in early season, is warming up down below me. It looks as though it's an unfortunate end to the afternoon, very early indeed for the CBC captain Brian O'Callaghan. There's Brian Hayes. Don't like to see this, John. It's a very anxious moment for coaching staff and parents and the players indeed. It's very unsettling in the early moments of a big final like this, and a real influence, Brian O'Callaghan, of course.
Yeah, he's a quality player and scored a great try in the semi-final, but you don't like to see this, don't like to see a stretcher coming on. Hayes is a great footballer himself, a quality player, but it looks like it'll be a sad end to O'Callaghan's day when it's only just begun, really.
And the changes to the Christians team may not end there, because that's number 17, Alec Joyce, being prepared to come in as well, just in the back of your shot there behind Brian Hayes. Kyle O'Dwyer is the other Christians player currently receiving attention, so it may be Hayes for O'Dwyer. And there you see Castletroy just trying to keep on their toes, keep warm and ready to go. Long stop and play.
The good thing is he's moving his hands around there and everything. It looks like it's some kind of lower limb injury, but disappointing for him, but hopefully not that serious.
Didn't really catch what happened or how the injury came about, but it looked innocuous enough. It was possibly a clash of heads even in there, as 2 or 3 Christians players went to try and stop the Peter Murray try effort. Pat Langtry, the coach, in there to oversee proceedings, and everyone obviously anxious to see that both injured players are not too seriously injured, let's hope, in any case.
See, Terry Kingston has gone in there as well to help, former Munster and Ireland great. Some a few words with Hayes there before he went on as well, so Terry is obviously playing a big role with Christians as well these days.
So a very disappointing early end to the afternoon and a worrying sight, but there you can see he's up and moving around, and perhaps the injury not all that serious, let's hope anyway. Meantime, Kyle O'Dwyer is going to receive a little bit of attention, so we would expect to see him back again. It looks as though Brian O'Callaghan's afternoon, though, is over, so the captain for Christians has been taken away on a stretcher, and he looks like he may have a trip to hospital to check out if he's okay. Kyle O'Dwyer called ashore for the meantime as a blood replacement. Incoming Brian Hayes, number 19. So in actual fact, Alex Joyce, the number 17, they're in for a blood replacement for Kyle O'Dwyer, and Brian Hayes, a replacement for Brian O'Callaghan. Now then, after that long stoppage in play, referee George Clancy on hand to give a free kick to Christians for the skewed put into the scrum by Peter Murray.
Not straight into the scrum.
Clearance kick is a very good one.
Well, hopefully that won't disrupt what was a great start to the game, and hopefully that Christians won't be too unsettled by those two changes. You know, certainly Hayes has a huge reputation, so he'll be it won't be that big a loss. Maybe losing O'Callaghan and Hayes coming on.
A little bit loose at line-out time for Castletroy, but it's back on their side, and Kevin Doyle has seen a lot of ball in the opening exchanges. Now Murray, again, confident player, elects to kick himself.
Took a touch, Dermot.
Very, very good kick. Got a fortunate hop perhaps, but good spot from the scrum half.
Yeah, great spot there. He saw that there was space in behind Christians. They were up flat, and rather than playing it out to the backs who were going to get hammered, he just put it in behind them and kept the pressure on Christians, turned them, put them back in their own 5 metre line.
Pádraig Hogan again finding his targets and finding them comfortably.
From the hindmost now, Red.
Frawley doing his job well, the big number 5. There it is for Murray. And again, they've got lots of options with ball in hand. McCarthy, difficult player to put down, takes 2 with him. Murray again now. This time the inside pass, and the defence once again from Christians initially is very good. Castletroy reorganise, and a pick and go from Kevin Doyle. Slower ball coming back this time. It's been disrupted and slowed down well by Christians legally, says George Clancy. Donald Byrne with a crossfield kick, real chance of a try, and the first try almost in for Castletroy. Agonisingly though for Colin Dillon, spotted brilliantly by Donald Byrne. Puts it on the sixpence, and Dillon really perhaps should have scored.
Great chance there for Dillon. He did everything right up to that point. He pulled away and saw that the Christians winger didn't follow him. He put himself in space, but just was very unfortunate to drop it.
Real chance gone then for Castletroy. Dillon probably had too much time. And this is what Christians do really well. So much power in their forward pack. Making 10 metres. Now they go back to Parfrey. And the clearance is a good one. Finds touch just short of his own 22, but still Castletroy playing the game where they want to, which is deep in Christians' territory.
Yeah, Castletroy dominating territorially, but you feel they need to get something out of this, that they need to score, but they've certainly started the better of the two teams.
Hogan once again with a really good delivery, and look how quickly they move it through the hands. Murray's had a really good start to this match, the little scrum half. Now they go out to the big man, Paul Dooley, the captain, and on now to Byrne. Not working out this time, an advantage being played by George Clancy to CBC, who make it outside their 22.
Stay here. Advantage over.
Again, the option is to pick and drive around the fringes. Brian Hayes was running out of pitch and popped it back inside really well.
Stay here back now.
Indication of what he's all about. On they go with Willie Ryan, who's forced sideways and backwards. And holds on.
In from the side,
or in from the side they come, and the penalty to Castletroy.
So a lovely bit of skill there by Hayes. You saw he was going out of touch and just flicked the ball back in with the inside of his hand. But Castletroy is still where they want to be, and they finally got an opportunity to take some points here.
So the option is for a kick at the post. It's a very difficult kick. It's a blustery afternoon at Gary Owen. Wind kind of swirling around and across the pitch, and this is Dara Frawley. Strikes it really, really well, does Frawley, and it's the first points of the 2008 final to Castletroy. What a kick from the second row.
A great effort by Frawley. Wrong side for a right footer, but forget about John Eales with a new second row kicker.
Tremendous boot from the big man. And it's 3 points to no score, and deservedly so, it must be said, from Castletroy. They've dominated the early exchanges. Billy O'Regan with the restart. Taken on by the hooker for Castletroy, Pádraig Hogan.
Back up, 7 blue, back up.
Murray has a look. And from a good pickup, kick straight down the middle this time. This is Oran Mulrooney, the fullback. Loves to run, rangy player, and he can kick off both feet as well. And that's a really well-measured kick from the fullback.
Nice play by Mulrooney. He had a look, he wanted to see was it on, and he just saw that the Castletroy defence were up in numbers, and he just cleverly put it in behind them, and finally Christians are getting in a good territorial position, and maybe they can put some pressure on Castletroy here.
Oran Mulrooney's got a try in each of his 2 matches so far.
Keep the gap at the front.
Spent 10 minutes in the bin as well against Glenstoll, and he was badly missed, but he came off the bench to good effect in the second half. Again, an indication of just how well the set piece works for Castletroy. Hogan with a lovely delivery, and Frawley, the early penalty scorer, plucking it from high in the sky on the maul. Steals another 10 metres, and Hogan again prominent with ball in hand, the hooker.
7 back up, 7 back it up.
Beautifully judged from the fly half, Donald Byrne as well, and the half-back pairing of Murray and Byrne have settled really well into this match.
Yeah, they're looking very confident. Byrne a second ago had a great pick-up off his toes, and there he just picked the space and put it in behind, and I suppose when you start a cup final, all you want is territory and to get down there and come away with points.
Coaching staff from Christians perhaps a little bit grateful that they're not further behind at this stage. Once again, it's crooked from touch.
I don't want you talking to your opponents like that. Back up, please. We got it, it's okay.
Just huge pressure there again from Castletroy, and Christians having to throw to the back to try and find an option, but it's just not happened for them yet today.
Square it up, please. CBC, don't push before the ball comes in. Nice and handy, please. Let's get a clear tunnel. Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
That's Jack Bransfield on the tight head side for CBC. Huge figure. Scrum is under pressure. Murray needs to be quick and clever, and he is. And Byrne, and now McCarthy. And just look at this from Jim McCarthy. That is an absolutely exceptional try by the inside centre. Twice we saw it in the semi-final, and we were certain that he would stamp his name all over this final. And what about this for a try from Jim McCarthy?
Just a fantastic individual effort. He just drifts outside the defender, but after that it's just pure class. Stepping off his left foot twice, and you can't teach that, you're just born with it, and that's just natural talent. Just his 2 left-footed steps there. That's as good as you'd see at any level of the game.
From a rocky set piece, it was good work from the 2 half-backs, and then it was into the arms of Jim McCarthy. 4 or 5 CBC players came to meet him, and he went by every single one of them. And the extras added by Frawley. And this is a brilliant start for Castletroy. They probably wouldn't even imagined that they would have started and settled so well, but they've dominated from virtually the first whistle, and they're good value for their 10 points to 0 lead.
Yeah, they have been the better team so far today, and I mean, Jimmy McCarthy is showing that he is a big game player, and when he got his chance, he just took it.
Christians will be a little bit shell-shocked and certainly very rocked by that. Interesting to see how they respond. Time for composure and to keep doing the basics correctly and try and play a little bit of rugby if they can down in the Castletroy half of the pitch.
Nice big gap. Here's our mark. Blues.
I think Christians will just be looking for a score now. 3 points will do them anything just to get into Castletroy's half and get a score.
Delivery from Stokes looking for James Mulcahy. Wasn't clean ball, but there's Mulcahy again with the pick and drive, helped out by Willie Ryan.
Hands off the ball, release.
Tackling's been feverish from both sides, and Castletroy sniffing a turnover here.
Hands out, no red.
And they've got it as well. Dara Bonfill has his hands on the ball.
Don't go inside.
Now it's loose, referee says it's out, and it's anyone's. It's back on the Christian side. Dara Foley has a little bit of a look and does well to hand off a couple of bigger players. Now in come the big forwards. That's the Castletroy 10-metre line. Good tackling once again from the man from Limerick.
Pillar, stay now.
Clearing out and counter-rucking from Frawley. Kick is deep enough for Cormac Joyce Power to comfortably take the mark.
Stay 10 now.
That's a bit better from Christians, managing to put a few phases together, give them a bit more confidence. Eventually they had to go to the kick, but a bit better from Christians.
Huge kick from the fullback. Doesn't find touch though and invites the other fullback, Oran Mulrooney, to run it back at Castletroy. Now it's there for Foley. Parfrey's well tackled again. Huge effort from the pack from Castletroy. Taken on by Brian Hayes. He's already made an impact since his introduction for the injured Brian O'Callaghan. That's Willie Ryan, the open side, helped out by Kieran Stokes, his hooker. And they make it up over halfway.
Stay back up, you.
And we understand that Alec Joyce is now a permanent replacement for Kyle O'Dwyer, so 2 changes already for CBC. In possession just inside the Castletroy half.
Stay here.
And it's a little bit loose, and that's a reflection of just how much pressure they're being put under by Castletroy. And just look at the running rugby from the team from Limerick. Maroney going fully 40-50 metres forward. Another of the try scores in the semi-final. The right winger.
Back up, back up.
Murray comes on this side, and here's Jim McCarthy. And again, look how elusive the first centre is. Eventually tackled by the hooker Kieran Stokes. Spun out early again by Murray. They're getting good platform and go forward ball, and there's almost another gap right on the 22 for Castletroy. And there still might be if Murray can work it right quickly. Elects to go with the boot, and he's got 2 runners over in that far corner. Did he get it down? Yes, he did indeed. It's a second try. Wonderful kick through from the scrum half Peter Murray, and Darren Maroney is in for the second try, and Castletroy are surging ahead.
Well, it's a great score by Castletroy. This is the last bit here. Peter Murray putting the kick through, and I think Maroney getting the touchdown. Fitting really that he gets the touchdown after making the initial break. But Castletroy playing great rugby. They're showing they know when to kick and they know when to run, and their dangerous players have made a huge impact in this game so far.
You just saw Murray have a little look up. He spotted 2 against 1 out on that far side, and it was any one of 2 players. And on the final replay there, direct confirmation that Maroney did in fact ground the ball correctly, and it was a legitimate try. Well worked and well taken. And this is Frawley from right out on the touchline. Even more difficult kick than the conversion for McCarthy's try. It's well within his range though, and that's a huge effort just to the right hand side of the uprights though, and it remains 15 points. A wry smile from the big second row.
Yeah, Castletroy couldn't have asked for a better start. To be 15-0 up after 27 minutes, it's a brilliant start for them, but it's after 27 minutes and Christians still have time to get back. I mean, they're playing catch-up rugby now, but they still have time to get back, and Castletroy can't relax.
So on the clock we have 7 or 8 minutes to play of normal time, but there will be a lot of time to add on by George Clancy following that long stoppage after the injury to the CBC captain Brian O'Callaghan in the very early stages. If you're just joining us and looking at the score through wide eyes, it is in fact Castletroy 15, Christians 0. 2 tries to the good now, Darren Maroney and Jimmy McCarthy. Christians now trying to put a dent in that. Darren Loftus doing good work and skipping a couple of tackles and bringing it over halfway. Kicked on then by Darryl Foley. Scrum half leaves it for his fullback, and Conor Joyce Power again takes the mark, and he's got a huge boot. Oh, terrific kick from the fullback, and everything is working really well for Castletroy. Massive kick from the fullback.
Yeah, great vision there by Joyce Power. He took the mark and he just had a look up straight away and saw there was space over here on the right hand side, and drilled a kick straight into touch, keeping his team in Christian's half. But again, Christian's looking a bit better. Darren Loftus made a lovely little break there, a lovely counter attack, so it's improving for Christians.
A little bit of attention for one player from each team, and wonderful kick from the fullback. Let's have a look at it again. Looks left, spots the gap, and then he drills this fully 50 metres downfield. Wonderful, confident play.
Okay.
I'm not surprised there are players down at this stage, because the pace has been hectic in this game. It's been end-to-end stuff and a lot of free-flowing rugby. I mean, although it's 15-0, it's been a great game to watch, because there's been a lot of good rugby from both sides.
Let's go.
Well, Castletroy do like to move it through the hands. Scored 3 wonderful tries in what was a huge win for them in the semi-final at Clifford Park a couple of weeks ago against PBC. 23 points to 22. And they're showing today already that was by no means a flash in the pan. Bossing the team with the bigger pedigree, and well worth their 15-point advantage as we tick towards the half-hour mark now. Again, Christian's being forced backwards in the tackle, holding on, and the penalty coming to Castletroy. Wonderful work again from the pack.
2 second rows there, Dooley and Frawley, the two of them at pillar and post, we'd say, and they just, the minute the Christians runner picked the ball, they were on top of him, and he had no chance. He was driven back. They're just showing great appetite for this game.
I got some from your hand sometimes.
Pat Langtree and the coaching staff for Christians probably scratching their heads, wondering exactly what they can do about this. It's not that they've done very much wrong at all, but Castletroy, huge appetite for the game, and from the first whistle they've been tigerish and feverish around the fringes and forcing the mistakes. The latest now leading to this penalty for Dara Frawley. Good attempt, but not going to make it this time, so it's 1 from 3 and 3 very difficult kicks, and it remains 15 points to 0.
Just Frawley has a lovely strike of the ball. Even the kicks he's missed there, though, have been very good efforts.
We're going to take that again. Wait. We're going to organise this now. You take the kick again. You know it must bounce before you kick it, all right?
CBC, of course, will be far from panicking. They've been behind already in the competition. They were in arrears going in at half-time to Glenstone and produced a really good, solid second-half display of intelligent, patient rugby. Now then, both wingers, of course, for Castletroy love to run. We've seen Maroney already get a try. Dillon there with ball in hand. Murray in again around the fringes, doing great work.
Stay here now.
Seizing the loose ball, making sure it stays back on Castletroy's side. Jimmy McCarthy. Huge kick down into the Christians 22, and under it is Mulrooney up against his opposite number, and does well in the end, the fullback.
I must say, I'm impressed by Pat Parfrey there so far in that phase of play. He got up, made a big hit on a man bigger than him, and then got up again and made a hit on another fellow. He's working very hard in defence. He's a good footballer, but he's got a big heart too.
Again, it's good set piece work from Castletroy, and the gap's beginning to open up. Stephen Murphy doing well in the loose. Now Murray. Donald Byrne breaks a couple of tackles. Out came Mulrooney to meet him, and that was a good tackle. Advantage being played to Castletroy by George Clancy. None coming, and they will have the penalty.
Number 10, not coming through the gate. Number 10.
A superb hit there by Mulrooney. It looked like Castletroy were through again, and he just came out of the blue and smashed Donald Byrne, the 10.
Two very good fly halves in action today, Donald Byrne and Pat Parfrey.
No, it's a time yet. There's at least 5 minutes of injury time.
Here comes
back in the line,
Mulrooney.
please,
wonderful hit. And in the end, it was Parfrey adjudged to have come through from the side. And it's 3 more points for Castletroy, who lead by 18 points to 0 as we tick ever closer to half-time. It makes wonderful reading from the team from Limerick.
Do you know, it's not even a case of Christians have been playing badly. It's just Castletroy have even compared to their semi-final win, they've just upped it a gear. Their defence has been rock solid, and their play with the ball in hand has been outstanding.
I couldn't agree. Christians have had little or no opportunity whatsoever anywhere within range to do any kind of damage. This time Murray rather slices the kick, and this perhaps an opportunity from which CBC will feel they must get some scores on the board.
At this stage, CBC just have to get points on the board before half-time. This is a real opportunity. They've got good pitch position, and they're going for a shortened line out here, and obviously recognising that they need to mix things up a bit.
Kieran Stokes looking for Mulcahy. Wonderful line out, good, clean, quick ball, and they tried a move similar to the one that brought the try in the semi-final. It goes through the hands from Parfrey out wide on the left-hand side. Inside pass just initially didn't work, but still they have good field position.
Back up now.
Breaking the gain line that time was Brian Hayes. Now it's Mulcahy again.
Away 3. Good still. No, happy tackle not complete. Hands out.
Now it's been stolen by Castletroy.
Back up.
And that's a big turnover. Jeremy McCarthy looking to tidy up, and if Castletroy can get this 20-30 metres downfield, it's a big shift, because Christians were looking menacing.
Stay here.
Kick just drifting in field from Donald Byrne. Chance for Darren Loftus, tries a clever little chip and chase. Now then the fullback Joyce Parr gets it inside. Strong running once again from a number of angles. Stephen Murphy showing that he's got a turn of pace as well. Murray back to Byrne. Good play again from Mulrooney. Just checked and kicked and got a little bit too much on it, and back we come out on the full from the fullback.
Mulrooney unfortunate there.
Okay.
It was a great take. The sun is there. There's a bit of wind. The ball was moving around, but it was a great take by him, and previously a great take by the left winger O'Leary. But the Christians back three have actually done quite well and have coped with kicks to them, but they're just under immense pressure at the moment from Castletroy.
That's Stephen Murphy just on the right hand side of your picture, receiving a little bit of attention. Corey Cogan has
let's make a decision.
found his jumpers out of touch flawlessly almost in this first half.
Yes.
And will aim to do so once again in another good attacking position for Castletroy. Frawley and Dooley poised along with Kevin Doyle.
Let's organise a bit quicker next time. Off his head, no knock on.
Referee says it's okay. Went forward off his head.
Let's throw the middle. Hands out now, Red.
Murray manages to get it out to Donald Byrne, who juggles a little bit but finds Dooley, the captain, and it's turnover ball. And if they can work this through O'Regan, there could be a score on for CBC. They're very deep, but lots of men out wide. The cover very good from Castletroy, and the chance is going to beg him.
Very great awareness there by O'Regan, and once they got the turnover, he moved the ball straight away. Just see him there, he's very aware, great step, and just pushes the ball on, and unfortunately just the last pass just going astray, just actually coming off the 14, Maroney.
Crouch, touch. Wait, please, break it up. I need a touch from you first, and then we go to a pause, all right? Crouch, touch, pause,
3.5 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half. A frenetic first half it's been.
CBC far side, that's you going down too early. Let's get it right, please, CBC.
Some more stoppage time following that injury earlier in the match.
Touch, pause, engage.
It's been a first half so far that Castletroy would have dreamed of having. Christians coming more and more into it though. Parfrey offloads in the tackle before he was put to ground, and that's the halfway line. Appeared to be a Castletroy hand on the ball, was there?
Try and stay on your feet, please.
It's gone forward, and the put-in will be to Darryl Foley for Christians.
Strum here, knock on by.
Yeah, that could possibly even have been a penalty, knocking it out of the nine's hand there, but a bit more encouraging. Christians getting a bit of possession. Maybe if they could get a bit of territory here and get a score before half time, could make a game of it in the second half.
Hold and push!
Big push on for Castletroy. Parfrey again showing good footwork.
Oh wait, no, Ken, release him!
Ball well presented. On goes Kieran Stokes, the hooker.
Stay here, Pillars.
Christian still trying to make the hard yards around the fringes. Again, they look to the fly half for that little bit of invention and creativity. Now Stokes checks inside. O'Regan it is. He's well tackled just over halfway.
Don't put him in scrum half.
Foley at the second attempt to Parfrey. Mulrooney gets it outside to
get away, tacklers now.
Willie Ryan on the open side.
Don't go in there, Blue. Leave him, Blue. Leave him, Blue. Stay down.
Darryl Foley to Pat Parfrey. Big tackle on Jack Bransfield. Better stuff, good continuity and work through the hands from CBC. Was he in touch? Yes, he was. James Mulcahy just running out of pitch, but that's good stuff from CBC.
Yeah, a bit better there from CBC, and Mulrooney showing his class there, just stepping outside a guy and offloading, and I think the more they get the ball in Mulrooney's hands, the better, the more progression they'll make.
So that's it at half-time. George Clancy blows his whistle for the last piece of action, and it's really good stuff from Castletroy. 2 tries in that first half. The first from Diarmuid McCarthy, which was a brilliant try. Well worth looking again, breaking 3 or 4 tackles. Memorable moment from him, and then from a lovely kick from the scrum half, Darren Maroney in for the second try over in that corner. Half time then at Gary Owen. It's Castletroy 18, CBC now.
It's a reset, yeah.
It's only 45 degrees, not 90.
90, yeah.
Right, very well.
Try small bit. Okay. Just there in the last couple of 2 minutes, I felt.
No promos, okay. 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 Welcome back to Gary Owen for the 2008 Munster Senior Schools Cup Final. Castletroy 18 points to 0 to the good at half time. Strong words in the Christians camp at half time. Pat Langtree very animated during that half time break, and John Kelly alongside me, and really Castletroy good value for their lead, and two very, very good tries from both Jimard McCarthy and Darren Maroney.
Yeah, two great tries, and they've played an excellent brand of rugby here. That an individual effort by Diarmuid McCarthy there, and just stepping off his left foot twice. Outstanding running. You can't coach that. That's just natural ability, which he has, and it just shows great pace to get to the line.
And then this is clever from the scrum half, Murray.
Yeah, he had a look up and he saw that there was no one in behind, and he just pushed the ball through. I mean, he wasn't out half before. He's a natural footballer and showed great vision there. And Maroney scoring the try, and I mean that try started right back in their own 22 when he caught it and made a great break. So they have been good value for money for their 18 points. We
were saying just before the half-time whistle that Christians have really done very little wrong, so it's kind of difficult to imagine just what Pat Langtree has been telling his players down below us. I mean, what do they change, or how do they get back in this match?
Well, first of all, they need to get points on the board. That's what he'll be saying, is get the first score in this half coming up. And they're playing with a bit of a slope here now, so they've got a good opportunity to put the ball down into the Castletroy half, and all they have to do is get one score at a time.
Huge effort from the Castletroy pack in that first half as well. We know all about their skilled backline of Colm Dillon and Jimard McCarthy, Kieran Clancy, Maroney and Joyce Parr, but the effort from the forward pack has been immense. And at the set piece, John, as well, they're winning key ball from the line out, because Dooley, Frawley and Hogan throwing into touch has been superb.
Yeah, and they're getting their second rows in the air. Frawley's getting up, and if you've got a big man up in front, it's very hard to throw over him.
I'm just concerned with you leaning over across and trying to pull the guy back in. I advise you to stay out there completely.
So the first 10 minutes then of this second half, it's going to be Christians to get us underway with Billy O'Regan, and it's absolutely crucial that the team from Cork can register some kind of score, because if Castletroy score first in the second half, well then really the hill becomes a mountain and you can't really see a way for Christians to get back in. So off we go then. Could it be history in the making over the next half hour or so for Castletroy, playing only their 4th match in the Munster Senior Schools Cup, incredibly leading the 27 times winners of the competition, CBC Cork, by 18 points to 0. Mulrooney with an early chance to pin Castletroy back. Cormac Joyce Parr, we've seen 2 huge kicks already in the first half, and field position key for Castletroy, chasing his own kick well. Parfrey would have felt him coming. Good tackle from the full-back, and a good offload up off the floor from Pat Parfrey as well. Christians under pressure, doing well.
Pillars now.
Kieran Stokes with a pick and drive.
Pillars again. Pillar, back up you.
Worth just reminding you, of course, in case you join us late, that Christians lost their captain Brian O'Callaghan inside the opening 10 minutes. And they also lost Kyle O'Dwyer, so disruption of sorts to their pack early on, but there's confirmation of that incredible scoreline.
Keep it. This side of me. We don't have
just a great kick there again by Joyce Power. You know, he's had the vision, saw that there was space behind him, and he has a huge right boot, which I think there's a slight breeze against him and the hill, but he bumped it about 50 yards. It was a great kick.
It's not straight. Your choice, right?
Referee once again saying the line out wasn't straight. It was taken by Dara Bonfill.
Nice big gap, here we go.
Scrum down to CBC.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Hold and push. No, it's gone around 45, we'll have it again. So we'll the steady tunnel, give it to me now, please.
Do it again.
The same on your ball.
Castletroy supporters
Scrum half. No.
Will be very, very happy with what we've seen so far. Already seen off Pres Cork in the semi-final and doing a very good job so far on CBC as it stands. Big kick downfield. Covering players are Maroney and Joyce Parr. Maroney it is, the right winger. 2 tacklers, the first of which was Billy O'Regan, taking him down and...
Don't pull him in now!
Murray gets it out wide and kick forward that time by Colm Dillon. Very, very good kick again. Darren Loftus, very little he can do from there.
Thought that. Carried over by Red. Scrum.
It's going to be a scrum 5. Confirmation from the touch judge, and Colm Dillon's kick downfield working really well for Castletroy.
And Castletroy just showing great footballing ability from 9 to 15. You know, they're picking out space behind Christians and putting the ball in there. It's a shame for Christians after an outstanding kick from Pat Parfrey.
Here they come again. Penalty, holding on this time, much to the relief of CBC Cork, it must be said. Chance for Mulrooney to get his team outside their own 22. As John said, probably with the breeze slightly at his back, though it is swirling across the pitch as well. Good kick from the fullback.
Yeah, it was a great defensive effort there. mention his name a lot today, Pat Parfrey, but the tackle was made. He just showed good football sense, got in on top of the ball and held on to it and got the penalty for Christians.
Kieran Stokes looking for Mulcahy. Back on the Castletroy side again, and a chance for Murray to release the pace man. Dermot McCarthy again draws a couple of tacklers and gives it out to Mulrooney. To Maroney rather, and again it's a very, very good kick. Evidence again that behind the scrum they've got intelligent players. Castletroy wasn't really on for Maroney in terms of trying to beat the two men up against him, so he just pops it down the line.
Yeah, perfect play.
Big gap all the way.
Dermot McCarthy had a look, fed it on to Maroney, and he just saw he was going to be bundled into touch, so he just pushed it forward. And again, pressure situation for Christians, line out in their own 5.
Short in the line and it works out. Good delivery from Stokes.
Okay, it's gone in 5.
Christians make 5 metres before they're stopped and then driven back. Now they go to ground and it's there for Darryl Foley. And from a difficult angle, that's a very useful kick indeed.
A nice left foot strike there by Parfrey. Christians will be looking to put pressure in this line out. Really, I mean, the clock is ticking down for them now. They need to get into the Castletroy half, and they need to get opportunities and scores.
Who's receiver, Red? Okay, it's 5-1.
Hogan again. Good work from Froley. Burn to McCarthy.
Advantage.
And it's gone forward this time. The handling not as good as it might have been. A rare mistake by Castletroy.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's the first time I've seen them actually have a turnover, and at this level, these guys are 16, 17, 18 years old. You know, to be going through a game so mistake-free is very impressive.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Pushing it off. Pushing it off.
Free kick to Christians. Foley.
Advantage.
Returning the favour of Christians with a knock forward from Billy O'Regan.
Advantage over.
Advantage over, says the referee. Ball kept in play and poked forward, and Mulrooney now under pressure from Dermot McCarthy. Ducks under the tackle and gets away from a second one from Pádraig Hogan. Good play from the fullback.
Stay. Back up, Taylor.
Anxious moments again in the Christians' defence. Fullback coming to the rescue. Back from Foley again, and another good touch find. Maroney tries to take it himself. Didn't go 5 though.
Not 5, guys. Free kick, guys, not 5. Yeah, that's right.
Castletroy had every opportunity just trying to get at Christians, and Maroney was probably right to take the gamble on the line out to himself, but it didn't go 5, so back we come. Free kick and a chance for Foley to get CBC Cork moving again. Up over the 10-metre line.
Away, no 7.
Good stuff from Willie Ryan. Big physical presence in there now. Parfrey has a look at field position. Again, that massive right boot from Cormac Joyce Parr. Just look where it puts CBC Cork. Willie Ryan won't have wanted to chase that ball all the way back there, and up come the blue shirts.
Stay 13, you stay.
Murray has a look and spots a gap in behind the defence, and that's an absolutely tremendous kick from the scrum half. Really, really good.
Yeah, great vision by Murray there, and just, I mean, Castletroy, they aren't under any pressure. They can just put the ball into touch and play field position. Christians have to try and do something. Mulrooney did very well in that play again. You know, he's showed a lot of vision and a real eagerness for work. But at the moment, the Christians just pinned in their own half.
Well, you can see, as you say, that Peter Murray's played a lot of football. There he is at number 10. Intelligent player who reads the game well and kicks very, very cleverly from hand. And he's given Castletroy good field position, and once again it's CBC who have to make the yards back upfield to get back into scoring positions. Played most of the rugby inside their own 22 in both these halves. Really kept at arm's length most of the afternoon so far by Castletroy. Lots of time, of course, to get back into it, but as John says, the longer this game goes on, and Castletroy happy to run down the clock. It's a long way back from 18 points to 0.
I think when Christians are looking for field position as well, they need to keep it away from the boot of Joyce Power. They either need to kick it to go dead and put pressure on the Castletroy line out, or kick it to the other players, because Joyce Power has one hell of a right foot on him.
That's James Real, the number 16. Coming in for Castletroy.
Let's get organised now, wait.
There's also going to be a change on the CBC team. Dara Dunn down below me is getting ready. Meantime, away comes Foley. Referee's whistle goes, and it's a penalty to Christians.
Use your order, please. Okay. Easy, you okay? Time off.
Just the way the game has gone stop-start as well. I don't think that suits Christians now. They really need to get the pace of the game up, need to get it to their own pace, and start getting the ball in hand and start putting Castletroy under pressure.
I want you to make that extra effort to try and stay on your feet, please, okay? Even if you're not meeting that position here, let's have it going upwards as opposed to down.
Yeah, there's been quite a few stoppages in the second half, which has just broken up the rhythm of the game. Castletroy as well.
Okay, guys, we have to start making a decision.
Haven't really got into their stride in the second half, but they'll be perfectly happy that the scoreline hasn't changed, as we see confirmation of that replacement on the Castletroy team. Lots to think about for Pat Langtry and his coaching staff. 5 years since Christians last got their hands on the trophy, and that wait may be elongated as the afternoon goes on by Castletroy. Tremendous performance from them so far in their first final. Their juniors, of course, already having landed the junior title, so
okay, no, here it is, just give me a step.
As it stands, 17 minutes into the second half, they're on course for that unprecedented double.
4 and 4. 10 now.
Didn't appear to be straight. The referee seems happy to let it go. Good cover again from O'Leary, who's very competent under the high ball. A couple of good takes. Billy O'Regan has a lovely sidestep and a jink. Again, most of the time he's got the ball in hand. He's very deep. Now, chance for Willie Ryan to break forward. Makes good ground up to the 10-metre line. Presents it well, and it's quicker ball this time. Now Mulrooney, the more he can get into the game for CBC, the better. Pops it off the floor. That's really nice stuff from the fullback. Kieran Stokes now, tackled by Murray.
Away, tackler! Release it!
Helped out by one of his forwards as well, and it's quicker ball again for Cork, and O'Regan again. And again he has Mulrooney on his shoulder. He's still going himself. Chance for the replacement, juggled it and knocked it forward, an advantage to Castletroy. Chance gone. Alec Joyce just couldn't get a hold of it.
That's much better though from Christians. Just great continuity. O'Regan getting involved a lot, and he's a big strong fella. He's a Scott Gibbs like centre, and it just lays the ball off, and unfortunately it's dropped there, but much more encouraging play from Christians.
Yeah, in a second. Okay.
That's the number 5 for Castletroy.
Substitution is 1 blue.
Dara Frawley is down.
We need attention here, Peter. Attention. You gonna be okay? Yes, Captain.
That's David Quinlan, the number 17 for Castletroy, is coming in for Cedric Laffin. So a change in the front row.
Back here, please. Back here, please. Back to the mark. Back here, please, guys. Yeah.
So it'll be a put in then to Castletroy. After that knock-on, confirmation of the replacements on the Castletroy team also coming in. Mark Hanrahan. Dara Bonfill taking his seat on the bench.
Pause, engage.
Murray feeds the scrum.
Stay, no, 12 stay.
Kick
Can't keep
drifts in field, and now Mulrooney shaped a kick and then decided to go, and lots of bravery and courage, and backs himself to break a couple of tackles. Billy O'Regan is well tackled. Here come Christians again. Power free. O'Regan with a little show and go. Lovely work and a real chance now this time for Brian Hayes. Wonderful defensive effort. Well, the referee is on hand and he gives the try. I have to say, on first reflection, I thought he was bundled into touch, but George Clancy thinks otherwise. Let's watch Hayes again.
Very hard to see from that angle whether he touches the post, the corner flag first or not, but great effort by O'Regan again, a little show going and a great offload.
Yeah, can you fix the corner post for me, please? You see the way it's gone down.
Well, fortune favours the team going forward on this occasion, and if Brian Hayes gets it down from here, well then it's a wonderful try. In fairness to George Clancy, he was across there quickly, made up his mind sharply, and was well positioned. And Christians have that score that they craved so much. They're back in the match, and if we can get two more from here, from what's a very difficult position from Mulrooney, well then it's game on. Not to be from the fullback, but it is a try for Christians. 18 points to 5, 51 minutes on the watch.
Christians will be hugely encouraged by that, and they went to their strengths. Mulrooney caught the kick and just put on the afterburners and went for it and put them in good position, and then O'Regan, he's just a very strong player, shows and goes and gets the ball off. But if they can get more than that, they could make a real game of it.
Yeah, he's a huge influence on this match, Billy O'Regan, as he was on the semi-final. Power free as well, beginning more and more to pull the strings. Maroney, testing kick, more called for and given.
Yeah, here you go. Back.
Away they come with Willie Ryan and Maroney forward that time. Frustration ever more evident from Billy O'Regan. That's what Christians have to do though, John. They've got to take the risks and try their running game.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones under pressure. They have to play the rugby. That they might have just been forcing it a bit too much there. Maybe field position might have been the better option.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Hold the push.
As it is, this is a good position for Castletroy. Byrne, out it goes into midfield. McCarthy almost got away from Joe Holland and Billy O'Regan.
Stay here, back up, boys, back up.
Peter Murray again takes the responsibility himself and sends in a testing kick, which is really well dealt with by Darren Loftus. The back three, as John mentioned a short time ago, O'Leary, Loftus and Mulrooney, very confident under the high ball.
Hands out! Your free kick advantage, scrum half.
Christians almost up to their 22.
Go, Quinn, they're not out.
Being made work very, very hard though, for even a few yards.
Hands out!
Parfrey didn't have the support he needed. Looked for the offload.
Back.
And it's a loose pass, and chance gone again for Christians, but credit again to the Castletroy defence. They're up very fast and very hard and not making it easy at all for Christians.
But Christian's showing a lot of heart, and they're trying very hard to get down, but maybe they'd be better off at this stage. I mean, there's still a good bit of time left, but at this stage just trying to get another score, put the ball down into the Castletroy half.
Yeah, okay. All right, 1 second. No, big gap, please, Red. I need a bigger gap, Red. No, all the way back, Red. Okay.
James Reel finds Crawley and then taken on by David Quinlan.
That's fine.
2 replacements for Castletroy, seeing a bit of action.
Hands up, Luke. Don't go in there. Don't go in.
Christians have turned it over, though.
Hands out.
Good psychological boost from the team from Cork. James Mulcahy
Stay.
with the pick and drive and setting it up now for Darrell Foley. Looking to change it around, Willie Ryan. This time, though, the referee says holding on the tackle, and the penalty will go to Castletroy.
David Quinlan off the bench making an impact there. He just got straight in on the ball, and to be fair, I think it was Willie Ryan. I think he was holding on the ground, and I deserve a penalty for Castletroy.
12, Red. 12.
18 points to 5, and Castletroy, you would imagine, will just try and keep the scoreboard ticking over. Tag on 3 more from here. Frawley's kicked well. He's missed a couple, but the kicks that he has missed have been from difficult angles in a swirling breeze. Dara Dunn coming in for Billy O'Regan. Would think perhaps that O'Regan is carrying a little bit of an injury because he's been a key player.
Yeah, O'Regan has done very well. He's carried the ball very well. He was instrumental in the try and instrumental in Christian's comeback so far. I presume he's got some kind of injury because he's had a great game today.
To kick it. Shot goals.
And a shot at goal is the option for Castletroy. Frawley to have a go at extending the advantage once again. Up go the flags from the touch judges, and it sneaks in on the right hand side, and Castletroy have their first points of the second half and lead the final by 21 points to 5.
Yeah, important score for Castletroy after Christians have got their try. Christians had the momentum, and now Castletroy have got it back again, so it's up to Christians to force the issue again.
3 penalties and a conversion for Dara Frawley.
Stay here.
That's a good return from him, and he's been instrumental all afternoon in the line-out as well.
Good position here for Christians now. They're back in the Castletroy half. They have their own line-out. They have possession, and they're looking at a shortened line-out again. So obviously they might be trying to pull something out of the bag, like their move against Leinstall in the semi-final.
Lovely move it was to set up the try from Mulrooney, an inside pass from Jack Bransfield, releasing Pat Parfrey, who found his fullback coming into the line at pace, and Mulrooney doing all the rest. Christians really need something like that. Pull a rabbit out of the hat at this stage, and a converted try would really get them back into it. As it stands, Castletroy will get their hands on that piece of silverware at the end of the afternoon. Paul Dooley, their lock forward. Nothing confirmed or far from done and dusted yet, though.
Time back on. Yeah, no, this is mid-point.
So let's see what Christians can manufacture from this line-out. Kieran Stokes.
Back it up.
Hayes up in the air early, and it's good ball from touch. And it is a training ground move, and they're looking to spread Castletroy wide. Defence is good from Castletroy. They got across quickly. Danger not gone though.
Hands out!
On go Christians now, 5 metres inside. The Castletroy 22 sets it up for Foley.
Away tackler, roll.
There's been very few gaps in that Castletroy defence all afternoon. Trying to work that right hand side, and it's in the hands of the fullback once again, Mulrooney. Foley can see it and digs it out. Parfrey gets it back inside to Mulcahy. Lovely work with the hands and the offload and the tackle. Joe Holland goes in, leaves it for Foley. Parfrey didn't have too many options right, and he's under pressure, needs support. The support is there. Good stuff now from CBC. Foley goes in. Possibilities wide right, and Willie Ryan breaks the first tackle and breaks the second. Now, can they get numbers quick enough? Yes, they do. Foley has a look. Parfrey has lots of options. Real chance now. Brian Hayes, can he get it out? He does get it out. Knocked it on though. Looked for all the money that Brian O'Leary was going to be in for a crucial score, but it's been knocked forward.
Just I think it was that Moroney came flying in there off his wing and hit Hayes. I mean, it was a try-saving tackle. He made a decision, and he saved Castletroy from a certain score.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
It certainly was Darren Moroney. He's played well today.
Break it up, please.
Right winger took his try very well, and he's kicked well and made some nice tackles.
Let's get it right here, please.
Seconds.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Penalty for Castletroy. Big call from George Clancy.
In on the angle.
Christians will be disappointed with that. When you get into the 22, you don't want to leave the opposition out cheaply, and Castletroy now will get their own line out outside the 22.
Byrne finds touch right on the 22, but it's Castletroy's throws to the line out. From what was a moment ago a very good position for Christians.
Stay.
Again, it's simple, clean ball for Castletroy.
Stay, guys, stay.
From touch.
Stay, guys.
Murray under pressure.
Accidental offside, came off you, scrum red ball.
No,
accidental offside.
This is exactly what Christians need. They're put into the scrum.
Okay.
Just inside the 22.
You sure you're okay? No, let's I can stop the clock for you, no problem. Okay. Alright. Wait.
Great attacking position here for Christians.
Touch.
I'm sure they'll have something up their sleeves.
Bind up this side.
Almost worked an opening from a similar position just a couple of moments ago.
Front rows. Be very careful now. Steady tunnel before the ball comes in. Let's get nice and tight here. Bind up here. Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
A little over 7 minutes remaining then in the Munster Senior Final.
Advantage.
A little bit of improvisation.
Held back into the scrum. Pull back into the scrum, number 8.
Foley does well. Held back in the penalty to Christians. What will they do from here?
Stay.
And they're going to run it. Parfrey to Mulcahy.
Advantage offside.
Parfrey again. Looks for the big man to make holes. Brian Hayes does well. He's played well, the replacement. And they switch the point of attack. Parfrey now. Stokes is buried in the tackle. The defence has been immense from Castletroy. Some huge hits.
Away forward.
Christians still have it though. They protected it well, and they recycle it quickly through the hands, and out goes the Castletroy defence, and that's gone forward.
Back for offside.
Back we come for the offside though.
Christians getting their first period of a long time inside Castletroy's 22, and really feel they have to score if they have any chance of getting anything out of the game. And there's no point going for penalties now. They just got to run the ball and get tries.
Kieran Stokes receiving attention, and just out of your shot, referee George Clancy reminding Paul Dooley that that's a couple of quick penalties against his players, and no one wants to spend the last 10 minutes of what could be an historic day for Castletroy in the sin bin. Need to keep their discipline. And just out of your shot as well, Oran Mulrooney is called for a kicking tee, so perhaps this is going to go between the posts.
Yeah, I suppose with the delay maybe they have to go for the penalty, and it puts them 2 tries away, I think, if my maths is anyway decent.
Better than mine, so I believe you.
I was thinking about it for a while, so the pen and paper out a minute ago.
More changes on the Castletroy team. So we have 65 minutes on the watch, but George Clancy indicating we still have 10 minutes of playing time, so perhaps the correct decision now from Mulrooney, provided of course he dissects the uprights. £21 points to 8 now the score, with 10 minutes, 5 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Oran Mulrooney getting his first points of the afternoon.
Yeah, really, Christians need just to get straight back into the Castletroy half if they want to have any chance of winning this game. They really have to go for it now. They can hold nothing back and just have to try everything.
Oran Mulrooney, the Christians fullback, takes his points tally in the competition this season to 23. A couple of tries, 2 conversions, and now 3 penalties. Here come Christians again, and suddenly little gaps beginning to appear. The game is becoming more and more stretched. Mulrooney kicks ahead, chases down hard, and Cormac Joyce Parr with defensive work to do. It's charged down Mulrooney again. Murray under pressure. Mulrooney's all over the place.
Release it! Advantage!
Christians will have a penalty. Wonderful stuff from Oran Mulrooney.
Great play by Mulrooney.
Hold on.
Another injury there, but great play from Mulrooney. He had the vision to put it through. He saw the fullback had come up a bit, he put it through, and he followed up his own kick and made the block. You know, I mean, Joyce Power has used his right boot to get the ball away, and he knew that and got on him and made sure he didn't clear it.
Big tackle as well on Peter Murray, the scrum half. Let's hope he hasn't damaged his shoulder, because he was put to the ground by Mulrooney, held on then in the tackle, and has forced the penalty. Peter Murray doesn't look too comfortable at all. Christians players, Mulrooney in particular, just having a little bit of chit-chat out of picture. They're going to set something up from this penalty, that's for sure.
This is a situation where they have to score. They have to get really 7 points. So they'll have to have a goal really and come up with something special.
7 points from here would really put them back in it. And as John mentioned, a converted try then, and they steal the cup. And it is going to be further action. George Clancy. Peter Murray goes to the bin for deliberately holding on and denying quick ball to CBC. And you did hear the referee warning the players a few moments ago.
Wait for second rows, please.
He's a big loss as well for Castletroy.
Sorry, guys.
It's always expensive when you lose your 9 because you've got no natural replacement, but he's also been one of their quality players today, so he's a huge loss. And it'll put Castletroy under fierce pressure and make a real interesting finish to the game.
Stay inside then. Hold the push!
So, big chance now for Christians. Parfrey, again they go for that mismove in midfield. And again the tackling is good from Castletroy, and they're stopped just a metre short. Darren Loftus must have been very close to another try, but they might get it now. Wooly Ryan, noise level lifting through. CBC sniffing out a try, and that's good work from Castletroy. Really good stuff, and the advantage goes their way.
Say again. I can't hear you. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Back up here, please.
Up on the halfway line there is scores of Castletroy supporters getting ready to invade the
pitch. You have to get
pitch.
someone to put it in Castletroy. Let's go, please. Come on.
Still is an interesting situation here, though, because they have no scrum half, so
Crouch.
they're under huge pressure here to get the ball away, and I'm sure Christians will put them under big pressure.
Jibber McCarthy, the number 12 and the opening try scorer, feeds the scrum. Christians have it, and a real chance again. It looks like Brian Hayes, the number 19. Quicker ball, Pat Parfree will back himself and try and get the try. Good tackling again from Castletroy.
Off his leg. It's okay, ball was out.
Wonderful tackle.
Don't stand on him now, careful.
Christians still have it, and the player on the ground can't get out of the way, indicating to the referee. Parfree again has a look.
No, away. CBC, stay on your
just
feet.
Inches short. Foley must score. Foley does score. And it's his second try in the second half. The scrum half spotted the gap, had to score, and he does.
A great try by Christians, and well deserved, and came off a brilliant scrum, driving the Castletroy 8 off the ball. But Foley really showed a keen sense of where the line was, and just took his opportunity and dived straight in.
Meantime, Oran Mulrooney adds 2 more, so it's 15 points to 21. And it's all eyes suddenly on the match referee, George Clancy. We are into stoppage time, of which there may be quite a few minutes. And a converted try would now win this match, of course, for CBC Christians.
Time off now, time off.
And the referee, quite rightly, is going across to that far touchline because, from a safety point of view, if nothing else, the Castletroy supporters will have to move back. They're lining the touchline. And in fact, some of them are on the pitch, so George Clancy is absolutely correct to get them back. This match is not over.
I think he just gave up there, though. He said, I can't have this, and all the students looked at him, so I suppose he knows how teachers feel.
72 minutes almost now on the watch. 18 points to 0 it was at half time. 21-15. 6 the difference. Anything could still happen. Christians just need one good break, and if they're going to do it now, they're going to have to do it from very, very deep. Do it the hard way. They have the runners, though. Parfree gets it out to Mulrooney.
Stay here. Stay.
Well presented from Dara Dunn, back from Foley, the try scorer. Parfree a little bit isolated.
Hands out, Blue.
Good tackle from Dara Frawley.
Stay here. Back.
Foley again finds his fly half, and Christians look to move it again. Mulrooney. Penalty to Castletroy, though.
You guys.
CBC off their feet, and that could
there is time
be
for
the last chance gone
off the feet
for Christians. 2 minutes left.
Is it man?
Yeah, you wonder will that seal CBC's fate. Unfortunately, they showed great heart, but just going off their feet at the breakdown and not getting an opportunity to get the ball back, and Castletroy getting the penalty. But rightly, Castletroy having a shot here, or just wind down the clock a bit more.
I'm going to give you 1 minute now, so let's go.
Referee telling Dara Frawley to get on with it, and if he slots this over, of course, it takes Castletroy beyond the magic 7 points.
I know. 2 minutes. 2.
That would also be a nice way for Dara Frawley to cap a marvellous personal performance.
Not long.
The pitch invasion may happen even without the referee's whistle if this goes between the uprights. Didn't catch it perhaps as cleanly as he may have liked. It was close. Castletroy, though, have turned it over. It looked like Christians might break, but the Limerick men haven't.
Hands out, Red! Don't go in there, Red, don't go in there. Stay here, stay, pillars back.
Well, they might do just to make this ball disappear for 30 seconds or so.
Hands out, Red!
The pick and drive.
20 off your feet.
Referee's whistle sounds and it's a penalty
There's your mark.
to Christians. One last opportunity perhaps for the men from Cork. And they do have numbers down this side as well. Support runners in good positions. Wonderful hands as well. One knock on, one spillage, and it's all over. So courageous stuff from Christians. Parfrey again tries to get his back line moving. Kieran Stokes has had a wonderful game. Corkery, and it's gone backwards, and can Castletroy get the ball into touch? Time is up, says George Clancy, and Castletroy seconds away from an historic win. A first ever Munster title beckons for the team from Limerick.
Don't pull him in now.
And still they come, Jim McCarthy, who started it all off with that virtuoso try in the first half.
Hands out, Blue! Release it, Blue!
And still we play on. Christians have turned it over. Is that the final whistle? It certainly is from George Clancy, and the pitch invasion from Castletroy. They have done the unbelievable and beaten CBC Cork. They are the Munster champions 2008. 18 points to 0 up at half-time. They could barely believe it. It was inevitable that Christians would come back in that second half, and come back they did, to their credit, with a couple of tries. But, well, these are the moments that Castletroy will have dreamed of. There's Dara Froley, an influential player, the big second row. Alongside him, the captain, Paul Dooley. They played really well. He kicked some nice points as well. And they fully deserved their win today, that's for sure. Castletroy, they were the better team virtually throughout the match. They sustained the period of pressure in the second half, and they win by 6 points. There is the final score in the 2008 Munster Senior Schools Final. Castletroy 21, CBC Cork 15. Well, the action doesn't stop there, because coming up a little bit later on today, full deferred coverage of the Ulster Schools Senior Cup Final, Regent against Methody on Setanta, Ireland. And looking a little bit further ahead then to Magners League action this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. Leinster's title challenge continues with the visit of Glasgow to the RDS. That's on Setanta, Ireland, and also coverage of Edinburgh against Connacht from Murrayfield on Setanta Sports 1. And then, well, again, that is this coming Saturday from 7 o'clock. Munster against Ulster, and subscription details, as ever, are at the bottom of the screen. Great scenes then at Garryowen. Castletroy are the champions. We will have the presentation ceremony and post-match reaction when we come back in a couple of minutes. Okay.
So we just kind of call it as we see it from here on in. I was a little bit loose at full time, but I wasn't sure what we were doing really. Yeah.
Paul Dooley, now what is Mrs. Dooley's name?
Actually, I think Paul Dooley's brother played in the Junior Cup final and scored 3 tries.
Oh, you did, of course, yeah.
There's one for you.
Didn't he, yeah? Scored a hat-trick, did he? I thought it was 2.
Was it 2? And he was involved in the other one or something. Yeah, I read that.
I just seem to have misplaced Mrs. Dooley's first name. I think it's Geraldine, is it?
Geraldine it is, yeah. Mary O'Callaghan and Geraldine. You did score a hat-trick, John, yeah? Oh no, sorry, I'm talking to John beside me.
Yeah. Was it 2 or 3?
Hat-tricks, yeah.
Sure, was it?
Yeah. I have it there. Martin Burke. Okay,